impact in the game.
Big cup match feel tonight here in North London, live from the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. We have our second North London derby of the season. The stakes are even higher than before, with a place at the Carabao Cup semi-final at stake. We're back to do it again, and this time there's a bigger stakes here. This is for a place in the Carabao Cup semi-finals. Good evening. Welcome back to the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium for the second North London derby of the season. And as we said, it's more than just pride of London bragging rights this time around. Now we got a competition here for the semi-final place in the Carabao Cup. Something that Arsenal haven't won in quite some time. And the Spurs, well, they were hit the final just a few years ago, weren't they? Before sacking Jose Mourinho before it. And I believe Spurs still wanted to brace Brian Mason that year. Such a long time ago now. That was during the pandemic, wasn't it? And all that kicked, and then the whole Super League thing kicked off. It was quite the show. And Christian Romero was one of the players that was actually sent off in the first North London derby. It's pretty much the same squad. Son starts, of course. Solomon's in, and still no starting spot for Dominic Solanke. Diogo Dalot drops to the bench this time, as he started the first one back in September. I think it might have even been October. I think it was September, but in any case, full strength side for Mikel Arteta today, taking no chances. And it is pretty much as you'd expect, with Trossard, Saka and Isak all to provide goals, more goals. And yeah, it's pretty much as you were. Top 11 for Mikel Arteta. He wants to win this one, not just for the bragging rights, but a place in a cup semi-final. Arteta's already won a trophy before. He won the, I think it was the 2020 FA Cup. So when you think about it, this is a tale of two finalists from a few years back. Tottenham in this tournament, and the FA Cup winners from that year, Arsenal. So two big sides and a big North London derby to go with it. But I would say the odds are against Spurs again, with Arsenal and the form they're in at the moment. Another win in the Premier League against Everton to keep pace with Manchester City. But now it's the gap to the Carabao Cup again. And they already beat Bolton 4-0 to get here. So Spurs have it all to do. Pochettino is starting to rescue the season, though. Because at one point we thought Pochettino was in the hot seat, but he's really rescued them from that situation. Now he's challenging for a fourth place, which we would say top four, but Arsenal, City and Newcastle in particular are so far out in front, and they're starting to really get away at this point. And they look like the three best teams in the league by some distance. Arsenal getting an early shot on the board there. Bukayo Saka using his dance moves to get into the box, and the shot was poor. Well, he did all the hard work and then didn't really do well when he got there. And, well, like we said in the first derby, he's a cold hero here. And obviously there's been some pushes from the fans against David Levi's ownership again. They really see him as probably one of the major issues over the last few years. And maybe they have a point. Sacking Jose Mourinho for a final was never a good idea. And I think it worked against them in the end. And he's not, Pochettino's definitely had some Oh, there's an early foul here already. Now, what is this going to be? Already, we've got about 4 minutes on the clock, and we might have a booking at the very least here. Pedro Porro is in the book. So, one man that will be hoping not to repeat his previous derby shenanigans would be Christian Romero. As we said, he got sent off in the first derby against these two. But Pochescu really is starting to turn it round. We just have to hope that it really continues in the league for him and hopefully leads to a trophy. And a win tonight would go a long way towards achieving that. And he's definitely got a good starting lineup. Son, obviously, the main focal point. Kulusevski's another decent one. Udigi, very decent midfielder, I believe, in his own right. Saka finds Odegaard. Isak is in a lot of space ahead if he can pick him out. He chooses to eventually. Here's Moreno. It's a goal for Arsenal already. And then again, once again, it's Mikel Moreno against Spurs. And I'm pretty sure he scored in the derby as well, the first one. It was him and Isak both getting goals. So it's kind of like deja vu right now. And again, Isak just laying the ball off, deciding not to go to himself, be unselfish and get an assist. And that's the mark of a great goal scorer that Isak certainly is. 1-0 to Arsenal already. Out of the block, swinging. And we haven't even played 10 minutes yet. And Moreno already gets Arsenal on the board for goal number 1. The question now is, how many more? Well, I think it was 5-2 when these teams last met. Arsenal with a 5-star performance. There was a worthy by Bentancur to bring them back within 2-1 at the time. But then Arsenal really just ran away with it. And that is another tackle. And is that the guy who was just booked? Because he could be going off if it is. It's a straight red card. And it's Christian Romero, if you can believe it. Christian Romero's been sent off again. Absolute shambles from Christian Romero. Why is he doing that? Oh my word. And Christian Romero will think that he has a Derby Day curse, because in both matches he's been sent off and we've already played 11 minutes and Spurs are already in a predicament. 1-0 down and one man down, and in comes Trossard. Wow, that is absolutely ridiculous. I don't think I've ever seen a situation in a derby where the same man gets sent off both times. That's pretty mental. I'm not gonna lie, that is pretty an incredible thing I've just witnessed. In football, anything can truly happen. Here's Shinchenko of all people. He's ready forward. And already Pochescu's having to really switch things around. And he will be absolutely fuming at the fact that Christian Romero got sent off again. Oh my goodness. Football, where the absolutely incredible happens. And now it could be just an easy stroll for Arsenal now. We know that when a team goes down to 10 men, they shift up the gears and no one can catch them. And here's Saka already demonstrating that very fact. Nice spin. Finds Odegaard instead. And I think Odegaard was looking for Saka. It ended up going more towards Isak, except a Tottenham player was there first. It's a great tackle there by Gabriel. Again, performed really well against Everton. Odegaard. And Van der Ven's actually making a tackle as well, but on that occasion I think he got the ball first. Well, I think the North London bragging rights are going to Arsenal again, and they are progressing to the semi-finals of the Carabao Cup. We've got another derby going on later in time. We have a Manchester derby, I believe, between Manchester United and Manchester City. And then the last Manchester derby, United lost just last week. And who is that? That is Pedro Porro, and he could be going off. And he is. It's a second yellow card and a second red card for Tottenham Hotspur. We've only played 20 minutes. This is absolutely unbelievable. Spurs are down to 9 men 20 minutes into this game. What is going on? And that forces Pochettino into another substitution and another early drag of a player. That time it was, I don't know who it was. I didn't even know who the first one was. We were so stunned. Here's Moreno. Makes it 2. And Tottenham Hotspur's match here today is falling apart. Moreno with 2 and 2 red cards and 2-0 to Arsenal. The Spurs fans are not happy. This has got to be definitely the worst 20 minutes of Pochettino's managerial career right now, because he is at a total loss, going down to 9 men and being 2-0 down. Well, we knew Arsenal were absolutely outstanding, but today I don't think they even have to get out of first gear. Moreno makes it 2. Well, if there are 2 men, we've never had, I don't think we've ever had, it was Bren Johnson that came on for Kulusevski, so that's probably their second or third best player gone now. Well, this is absolutely incredible scenes here, folks. We have Arsenal 2 up and 2 men up. This is probably a more, is there ever a more unprecedented situation than this? Of course, we could get a manager abandonment. We've never had that before. Certainly in my time. Well, that's a wonderful pass from Odegaard. I don't really think he intended it too much, but he'll take it. And you can tell Arsenal are just enjoying themselves now. All this space that Arsenal can have. They're going to absolutely thrive tonight. It could be a cricket score. So. Bombing it forward towards Son. And he's going to be very isolated up there now. Bentancur. Well, he was the man that scored the word late. And Spurs' first of 2 goals in that game. Right now, we don't look like scoring 1. A good intake there by Zinchenko. Arsenal really can just play through Spurs at this point. You can do any sort of pass and it's going to come off. Here's Ben White. And here's Udry. Going to go bomb forward with a ball towards Son, and Saliba got there first. Oh, and it's fallen to Bentancur. He's offside. Well, it's a foul. Well, next will be a return to the Premier League for Pochettino, as his side will come up against Liverpool in a battle for 4th place. Fortunately for him, Romero and Poro will probably be available for that game. It's if Spurs progress here tonight, which they don't look like doing, that they will lose Poro and Romero for that game. And I don't think Pochettino could really believe what's happening here, because this is at home as well. I think this home crowd is completely stunned. Isak with another shot towards Vicario. I'm surprised Mikel Arteta isn't doing any load management already. As we're half an hour into the game, and Arsenal in a very comfortable position here. 1 goal for Spurs could change it. Nudig's running up the wing again. Headed by Saliba away. There is White. Saliba. Here we go. Zinchenko. Look at the space Arsenal players can exploit here. They've got the whole of the pitch more or less to themselves. It's going to feel like that. Nice to Odegaard, to Saka, and tremendous play from Arsenal. And it's a good save, but in comes Trossard. It's another great save by Vicario. It's a great initial save from Saka, and good to get back into position for Vicario to stop Trossard as well. Good effort. Well, the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium is a beautiful place, especially under the lights, but under the lights tonight, Tottenham have been shell-shocked. Nice into Saliba! And he's one of those, alongside Gabriel, that deserves a headed goal like that. Arsenal haven't really been able to work their corners very well this season. But I think that's probably a testament to opponents. They've obviously read the scouting report. And when Gabriel and Saliba are in that box, you've got to smother them to kind of put them off an attempt if they have one. Son and Gabriel kind of flicked the ball towards amongst each other for a bit there. Rice. What a guard. By Uigi there. Now Uigi's going to bomb forward again. The only one really making any putting in a shift. So at the moment, Tottenham look completely lost. Here is Ben White. Ben White with the ball in. Isak is wide open. It's a good save by Ricardo, to be fair. Isak was wide open in the box. He probably should have scored. And Spurs fans are not happy. And here comes Son to maybe brighten their night a little bit. When he runs into Gabriel, Gabriel's probably very lucky. Not conceded penalty there, but then the referee gives Arsenal a free kick. Next for Arsenal will be a trip to Selhurst Park to face Crystal Palace, whose ladies team lost against Manchester United in our last coverage. Of course, that was the last game of the Women's Super League for the next month now. And we expect big changes if Mike Skinner's words are anything to go by. Into call to Son. And Son was offside anyway. Good reading there by Gabriel and Saliba. He could have so easily been on, but it wouldn't have mattered anyway. Oh, and Gabriel's giving it away to Son. That's a poor free kick. And Son just cannot get a shot on target when he needs to. Just absolutely skies it. Son just doesn't seem to be a player with confidence right now with shots like that. Well, I have to say we have witnessed the most crazy first 20 minutes of the season. And Arsenal have just been in cruise control all night long. And Spurs have really been the makers of their own undoing, to be fair. It's Ben White. Odegaard over the top to Saka. And Van de Ven actually gets there. And Saka gets it back. And then Van de Ven forces a corner. 4 minutes of added on time. We could play another 100 minutes or so, and Arsenal would win here rather comfortably. Ricardo, though, given credit, he's playing to the end, and so is Zanucci, but they're Spurs' two best players by some margin. That's a well-taken corner. Saliba almost got there to hit it with his foot. Son clears it, but to no one, because there is no one. Sarr now, and because of Spurs' low numbers, they can't even get a break. Saka. Arsenal's play is literally so wonderful, but it looks like they're just toying with them. They're enjoying their time out there. Well, derbies are usually fiery encounters. We usually get sending offs, but nothing as crazy as the first 20 minutes of this game. Here is Alexander Isak, and Vicario is doing very well, to be fair. He's the only one showing some real fight out there. And to stop Isak is no easy feat. So give Vicario credit, he's playing. Saka with the resulting corner. It's out to Son, and Johnson's hit it away. And that is the end of one of the craziest first halves of the season. Spurs getting two men sent off and then going down 2-0 with a goal from Moreno. In fact, he might have even got both. And, well, Arsenal are out of sight. And this game's already over. Welcome to the second half here at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. Absolute crazy and unbelievable scenes, Jeff, would be how to describe that first half. 2 sending offs from Christian Romero, who got sent off in the first derby, if you remember, and Pedro Porro in the first 20 minutes, in which same time Spurs went down 2-0 and now 3. That was a wonderful pass from Moreno. Is he offside? He is. That's Leo Trossard. He's offside. He went off celebrating. Moreno picked him out wonderfully. And, well, he was a long way offside, to be fair. Trossard went off celebrating, but he was brought back down to earth pretty quickly. I think Martinelli has come on for Bukayo Saka in an Arsenal substitution, as the load management kicks in for Arteta again. And to be honest, he can do it all he likes. He could probably put his second or even his third squad out there, and Arsenal would probably win right now. Here is Isak, and Bukayo has been probably Tottenham's best player by far, even though he has conceded 2. He and Ujiri seem to be the only one putting in any shift at the moment. Son is missing chances, and Spurs are down 2 men already anyway, just to compound their matters today. As for the great looking corner, Son heads back to his keeper, and he can pick that out of the air because of that. Well, I think his halftime team talk has consisted, let's just get through this game now. Mondieri's actually come on for Arsenal as well. I think Odegaard made way. Ben White, Saliba. Arsenal exploiting all the pitch that they have. They're playing Spurs out of the stadium. Moreno, look at how much space he has. Moreno picks out Trossard, doesn't want all the goals for himself today, I guess. Who is Bentancur? Here's Son. Son's gone past Gabriel. And shot straight at Raya. Rice. Gabriel Martinelli, who came on as a substitute for Bukayo Saka. And we could have another booking here. That's Wanyeri that went down. And what card is it going to be for Ujiji, I think? Who's had a good game, but now he's going to get booked as well. And Spurs they need to do better. Discipline-wise, they've not really had a great disciplinary record against Arsenal this season. Arteta's demanding another red card. And getting all up in Patescu's face for some reason. Why is he not sitting down with a cup of tea? I don't know, because his team are absolutely in no need of any managerial advice, and Arteta doesn't need to get himself in trouble. Well, it looked like he was going up in Patescu's face in that camera angle. I don't think he did. But that certainly looked a bit more precarious than from that angle. And I think that was Son, but he missed again. It was. Son may have to go off because he's been pretty poor by his very high standards. Well, the fans are in good voice. I think that's probably rather of hope rather than expectation. Son. And Son trying to sliding tackle, but Wanyeri got round it. Martinelli, absolutely toying with them, Arsenal. They're having so much fun out there. They're spinning and everything. I think one of the things I thought of during the halftime break was how the unofficial kind of distant brother-in-law will be feeling right now. Being a Spurs fan himself. It's funny how we kind of have very similar family scenarios. Son. Myself being Manchester United, obviously. And the missus was an Arsenal fan. And in the other side of the household, we've got another Manchester United fan who's married to a Spurs fan. So We have quite the, what's the word? Not parallel, but it's certainly quite a unique kind of family tree situation we've got going there. My brother's also an Arsenal fan by all accounts. Trossard. Zinchenko. The ball in. Martinelli with a header. And Vaccaro, you've got to give him credit. He's had a very stunning time of it after the second one went in. And for Vaccaro, he's showing some pride. He's trying to keep the score down as much as possible. Because down to 9 men, with Arsenal in the scoring form they're in, it's quite a surprise we're not seeing an 8-0 scoreline round about now. I don't think Arsenal have even got out of second gear, to be honest. Here's Martinelli. To Nwaneri. Oh, it's a great save by Vaccaro, and Isak tries the very ambitious shot, such as his confidence. You can't blame him. Another great save from Vaccaro. And I hope the Spurs fans aren't booing him, because Arsenal, look at that. I think that's shots on target. Spurs 1, Arsenal 14. That tells a story all its own. Well, this has to probably go down as probably Arsenal's easiest game to date this season. We know it's a London derby, but you've got to keep some sort of composure out there, and Spurs have shown none. Got a third player in the book, don't forget. Bentancur. Done by Trossard. Martinelli. Nwaneri is away. And there's a lot of fans singing the praises of this kid. And he ran into a defender there. And if those fans are right, we could be seeing a lot more of Ethan Nwaneri in the future. Richarlison, good pass. Now Son. And Raya makes the save. And it's out for a corner. And there's going to be a substitution after this great save from Raya that we're not going to get to see because the replay got cut off. It's been a thing with this season, with this game. Eddie Nketiah is coming on for Alexander Isak as load management has been used by Arteta once again.
This is a message for Tyler Berry. That's Tyler Berry. Can you please make yourself known to the nearest steward? Thank you.
Well, I don't think it'll be just him that makes his way to the nearest stewards. I think a lot of these Spurs fans are probably going to be heading for the exit pretty soon. And here is Eddie Nketiah of all people. And he's going to score as well. 3-0 to Arsenal. And it's so comfortable that Eddie Nketiah doesn't even celebrate. A lot of fans aren't happy with that celebration, but really, can you blame him? There's no point being extravagant. Arsenal are taking this seriously. And what must that man be thinking? He's done so well in the league, Politescu, but tonight, his team have really let him down. Arsenal 3, Spurs 0. Eddie Nketiah practically just come on as a sub like a couple of minutes ago, and he's already scored, whereas Isak hasn't scored tonight. Strange irony about that. But I don't think Mikel Arteta is really going to care that much. Nketiah to Mikel Moreno again. And he's missed. I thought he'd scored, honestly. Mikel Moreno has been quite impressive to be as amongst the goals that he is. To be fair to him. Midfielder that's had plenty of goals. Same with Martinelli, to be fair. Trossard had 7 in one game as well. %85% accuracy from 144 passes. Spurs only have higher accuracy because they've had less passes, because they've had less of the ball. And Son has been pretty bad, to be fair. I think that's putting it quite mildly. He's been very poor. Just making David Raya's night even easier. Saar. Bentancur. Richarlison. Wonder if he wishes he was back at Everton right now. Probably not, because the league table tells its own story in that regard. Everton towards the bottom, sadly. I really hope that Everton find some form before we go to our final live game at Goodison Park. We're going to be covering that for you later in the season, as Everton will take on Southampton, just to point you in that direction once again. The final game at Goodison Park. Let's hope Everton are still in the Premier League by then. I really hope so. We can't lose them as well as Goodison Park. It would be a huge loss to the league. So let's hope that Sean Dyche can make something work. Here is Richarlison. Son. Arsenal really probably have just taken their foot off the gas, letting Spurs play a little bit, I guess. Richarlison! Oh, and David Raya! A stunning save! An absolutely stunning save by Raya yet again. Even though his team are comfortably winning this game, he wants a clean sheet for his effort. And that was a splendid save off the line. Martinelli. Arsenal come forward again. Martinelli, great ball into Trossard, but Bentancur got there first, and then there'll be a free kick. Oh, we're not going to see a replay, because that was a splendid save by David Raya. I mean, it's not the first time we've said that this year. Back in the day on this channel, we used to say what splendid saves David De Gea would be doing. But this season, David Raya has more than filled that spot. Richarlison. This has gone past Gabriel. Now Rice heads away. And Yeri trying to control it. He's lost out to Saar. Good save by Raya. He took it. Took it well. And then White. James Maddison's dispossessed it. And now Son. And Raya saves again. Spurs trying to surge forward for a goal. And at least some pride in this game, because Arsenal have played them off the park, to be fair. But David Raya denies them even that. He's been splendid. 5 minutes of added on time. You can play 10, 15. Arsenal would still win. And we've said that a lot this year, because Arsenal have just been commanding in almost every game they've played. But this is a new level. But Gabriel's lost the ball to Richarlison here. Richarlison keeps it. I think that might have been handball against Gabriel, to be fair. Right, keeps that one out. Oh, and a foul against someone there. And it's a Spurs free kick for some reason. Not really sure why. That looked more a foul on Nketiah than Nketiah committing a foul. Maybe there was handball in the play. Son takes it straight into the arms of David Raya, and he's been probably Spurs' worst player tonight. By some margin. Even probably worse than the sendings off. Nketiah, brilliant touch. Moreno is with him. Nketiah, he picks it up himself and he scores. It's 4-0 to Arsenal, 2 to Nketiah and 2 to Moreno. Well, I don't think it's exactly how they drew it up. Nketiah was going to pick out Moreno, but his pass was picked off. But the nick was so heavy towards that Nketiah picked it back up and scored anyway. Well, they'll take it however they get it. Vicario, you've got to feel sorry for him. He's had a good game. But he just can't keep this juggernaut scoring machine of Arsenal out. And Paltescu has had a pretty disastrous night that he will want to forget in a hurry, because Spurs have had their worst performance of the season by some margin. Arsenal have been thoroughly dominant as Spurs lost the game and lost their composure. 2 sendings off, another one in the book, 2 goals from Moreno, 2 goals for Nketiah. Spurs were nowhere and Arsenal just played them out of the stadium. It is the worst Spurs performance of the season by far, And Pochescu has to have a real think of what just happened here, because I don't think even Spurs fans can believe it. Arsenal 4, Spurs 0, and everything else. So, taking a look at the other scores, Wolves 1, Chelsea 3, Liverpool 3, Walsall 0, Manchester United 1, Manchester City 2, alongside our coverage today. That's very unfortunate for Walsall, and Manchester United just season shows no sign of improving. And that means for the draw, Liverpool have Chelsea and Arsenal have Manchester City. That might just worry Mikel Arteta a little bit, considering what happened in the Premier League fixture earlier this season.